Hello, everyone. Walk Hill Bethelite here. And let's talk about a split from Watchtower. Now that people are using Zoom and are able to meet together online, they no longer need a facility. They don't need a building. So, when we talk about a split from Watchtower, we're talking about something that is a much simpler concept than it was in the past, right? Because before you're thinking, how do I start a church, or how do I start a split? Why would you want to split from Watchtower? Well, because Watchtower has been inaccurate. This is something that every Jehovah's Witness knows. Every Jehovah's Witness pretty much uses for their source of information a company called Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. Why would you want to split from that? Well, let's say that you have spent a number of years spreading Watchtower magazines and publications throughout the community. You've gone door to door prior to COVID, and now you've called people on the phone, you've written them letters and put Watchtower Bible Tract Society tracts or publications in the mail or what have you. Well, the problem is not your motive. Your motive could be pure. Your motive could be to serve Jehovah. Your motive could be to help others. But if you had spent 20, 30 years, even more, spreading magazines throughout the community and teaching people what Watchtower told you, well, now that those doctrines have changed, such as a generation of 1914 not passing away before the end of the system, well, now all that work is for naught, because you just passed out all that literature that no one would even read today. As a matter of fact, Watchtower Bible and Tract Society would tell you not to read the old literature because it was inaccurate. The question then comes to mind: why does a Jehovah's Witness need Watchtower? Why does someone who loves Jehovah and wants to do good in the community and teach other people about Jehovah, why do they need Watchtower? You don't have to have a magazine. A magazine or a book from a book publishing company is not necessary to teach people good things from the Bible. Watchtower, now that they no longer meet in physical buildings, and their form of meeting is now something anybody could do. You could speak to a few people who also recognize Watchtower has been wrong in the past. Watchtower could be wrong in the present. Watchtower is not necessary. That company is not necessary for someone to witness about Jehovah or witness about things in the Bible. Watchtower is not necessary. And Watchtower has proved in the past to be inaccurate. So those are some of the reasons why a person who's a Jehovah's Witness might say, hey, why do I have to listen to people who could be just as wrong as anyone else? I could be wrong on my own. Why do I need someone else to be wrong for me? As far as teaching things that are inaccurate. When I was growing up, I was told to serve at Bethel. I was also told several times that the end of the system would most likely be here before I graduated high school. So as a youth, based off of what people told me that may have had good intentions, they may have had love in their heart, but they weren't accurate. What they told me was wrong. I did graduate from school, and the system isn't here. Matter of fact, I've got nieces and nephews now, and the system isn't here, or did not end like they said it would. I went to serve at Bethel, and there wasn't a future in Bethel service because we are all aware now that Watchtower decided to sell properties in Brooklyn, sell Kingdom Hall, start consolidating, start sending Bethelites home. Doing what Watchtower told you to do can end up in you making a false step somewhere, or teaching other people what Watchtower told you to teach them can result in you giving someone inaccurate information. Why then do you need Watchtower when you could have a start of, let's say, 5 people, 3 people in a Zoom meeting to discuss the Bible, to coordinate plans to possibly go out in the community and spread information about the Bible? And a person may say, well, what about the future? What about predicting the future? What's going to happen in people's future? Watchtower has proven unreliable in predicting what would happen in the future. Whether you go all the way back to when Watchtower said that people would be resurrected and live in a mansion called Beth Serene. This was, of course, way back in the day with one of their presidents, President Rutherford, or the end of the world coming in 1975, which didn't happen, or the generation of 1914 that wouldn't pass away before the end of the world, and then they just changed it to overlapping generations. This goes on and on and on as far as inaccurate information related to the future. So we don't need Watchtower as a compass for the future, because that compass has proved inaccurate. So an individual person that is a Jehovah's Witness is essentially relying on inaccurate information for their whole ministry. Why do you do that? There's no need for it. So we can really start talking about a real split from Watchtower. You could have your own Zoom congregation. You could there are other people in the congregation that they're aware Watchtower's been inaccurate. Relying on them for information is not necessary. Learning how to break down information and study on your own using a wealth of resources. You can find resources anywhere in regards to Bibles, in regards to uh, textbooks to help break down the Bible. Finding something that you feel comfortable with and starting your own Zoom congregation with a few of the brothers and the sisters from the congregation. What about the sisters that have sat by and seen Watchtower and all the men put in position there get information wrong time and time and time again? And they decide that they no longer want to be submissive to a group of men who are not even accurate. And they decide, well, hey, let's have our own Zoom congregation meetings. Who's to stop them? No one is. Watchtower has come out and pretty much stated they are not inspired. They are not getting their information directly from Jehovah. They are coming up with their own doctrines based off what they read, which is the same thing you or I could do. There's no need for Watchtower. And then you may say, well, what about coordinating efforts to spread the good news? Well, then the question then is, what are you coordinating to be spread? If you're coordinating to be spread amongst different communities, Watchtower publications, well then, we have just coordinated a large effort to spread inaccurate information, right? Why would God expect you to spread information all over the planet? You would spread it as best you could. You would start with maybe a Zoom meeting with a few brothers and sisters that realize Watchtower's got it wrong in the past. And then you also have people who are kind of turned off to religion, partly because of Watchtower. They may be turned off to religion because of things Watchtower has told them about religion. Well, in that case, also breaking free from Watchtower, which is a religion, and starting your own ministry using maybe Zoom, maybe using other methods that you feel comfortable with to talk to people about different things in the Bible. Why should Watchtower hold you back? Right? For the longest time, in the beginning of the organization's history, well, no one was going to split from Watchtower because Watchtower told them Jesus selected them. Jesus said, follow these people. Jesus selected them invisibly. Well, the new light, as Jehovah's Witnesses or not, Watchtower would say, is that they are not inspired or infallible, meaning they're not getting this information directly from God, directly from Jesus, directly from any kind of source that would be infallible, that would be something we could all rely on consistently. So this is them essentially reneging on the whole Jesus picked us to spread information. If he picked them to spread information, he would make sure they had accurate information to spread, not some of the most inaccurate flops in the history of any religion. So you could end up with people with really good heart motive. They want to go out and they want to go help. And in doing so, they don't realize, I don't have to pass out this specific magazine. It doesn't have to be from Watchtower. They've gotten everything wrong in the past. They said that they were selected invisibly by Jesus Christ, and then recently, or within the last few years, said they're not inspired or infallible. One of the governing body members in the Australian Royal Commission, when asked if they were the only true religion, he said, well, that'd be presumptuous to say that. They have fallen back from their stance of being the only religion being led by God. How can you be the only religion led by God and at the same time not be inspired at all? Meaning the leadership are a group of men who are not infallible. They're not inspired. Well, why are they needed then? Why don't you pray to Jehovah about it? If you're a Jehovah's Witness, then pray to Jehovah about it and see about, hey, Watchtower may not be the best representation of Jehovah. Maybe you should start spreading Bible knowledge without being completely reliant on a group of men in Watchtower. You say you can be a Jehovah's Witness without Watchtower, right? This wasn't something we conceived before because of what Watchtower told us, that they were a channel getting information directly from Jehovah and then spreading that information to the congregations. They're no longer stating that. They come out and said they're not inspired or infallible. Okay, if you aren't getting the information directly from Jehovah, why do we need you? We do not. What if all of the things that have happened, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, what if all of the things that have happened was Jehovah revealing that Watchtower is not reliable, Watchtower can be inaccurate, and you don't even need a facility to break free from Watchtower because you can do it over Zoom. As a matter of fact, Watchtower's trained you on how to conduct a Zoom meeting. You no longer need them anymore. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Before there could not be a split, the Bible students, them trying to split from Watchtower, one of the major problems with that is then they were viewed as apostates. You can't apostasize from men. You can't apostasize from a corporation that is not inspired nor infallible, nor getting their information directly from Jehovah. How do you apostasize from Tony Morris? Think about it. How do you apostasize from Samuel Hurd? You don't apostasize from a group of men that their studies turned up inaccurate information. It's virtually impossible. There's no such thing. You can't apostasize. You cannot apostasize from a person or a group of people. You could be a Jehovah's Witness and not a Watchtower slave. Say, Watchtower told you before that the only way you can be a Jehovah's Witness is if you do whatever Watchtower tells you to do. You can do virtually everything without Watchtower. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. We should spread this information. That Watchtower, you do not have to sit and wait on Watchtower to tell you what to do. You could start a Zoom meeting with people from maybe your congregation or people from other congregations. They don't have to even be in the same city, and start Zoom meetings and enjoy studying scripture. Coordinate going out and spreading the message. God wouldn't expect you to pass out watchtowers all over the planet and then they be wrong and you just did all that for nothing. 937-789-4029. A real split from Watchtower would be amazing. You'd have Jehovah's Witnesses. You would have people who really do want to go out and help individuals. People who really want to go out and help people study the Bible. You'd have those people able to go and do so without spreading Watchtower inaccuracies. Why do you need Watchtower inaccurate information? Right? All the good intentions in the world that a Jehovah's Witness has, if not paired with good reasoning ability and accuracy as far as teaching the Bible is concerned, is to a certain extent an effort in futility. Teaching people a bunch of things that Watchtower is just going to change in a few years. What was the point in it then? What was the point in being out in the snow, knocking on doors, being out in the hot sun, knocking on doors, when all that information is inaccurate now? We could have been sharing scriptures directly from the Bible. We didn't have to use things off Watchtower's printing press that's not right. You could share something directly from the Bible, and the person would, I'm sure, appreciate someone actually encouraging Bible reading instead of pushing Watchtower Bible and Tract Society publication and membership. Could you imagine a Jehovah's Witness actually going out and encouraging Bible reading with no strings attached? No strings attached. You don't have to be baptized into an organization of men to serve Jehovah. It is completely unnecessary. Comment down below. I would like anybody to tell me why this particular printing company is needed for a person to be a Jehovah's Witness. Comment down below. What do you think about a split from Watchtower? Not leaving Jehovah, but leaving Watchtower. They said they're not inspired. They're not infallible. Why are they needed? Other than for you to send your money to them. Why are they needed? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.